Hey YouTube goers, how's it going? This is Kuhls Comic Book Basement. I'm your host, Jason Kuhl, and you best believe I'm as cool as my last name. So that's what's up. Alright, today in the show, I want to shoot some suggestions your way. We got, this is like a really older series. It's like 8 years old or something. It's like 2000 or 2000. Anyways, it's Justice League America Tower of Babel. This is Ra's al Ghul, the lead king of the League of Assassins. He's him and his daughter. They, as I've been telling you, Batman has everyone's weak spot, and everyone's playing how he would beat them and expose a weak spot. In the DC's universe, he has it in a computer file, and he spent like weeks and weeks delivering plans, and Ra's al Ghul, he exposed all, he got in his computer somehow. You would have to read it to find out. And him and his daughter take down the Justice League. They get their hands on this really weird kryptonite that makes Superman all weird out. He's like smoked some bad stuff or something. He's like, oh, what's happening? Oh, like that. Oh, what's happening? And there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that that goes on, and they later on find out Batman is responsible for all this. And it's just like the animated movie that came out, Justice League Doom. It's just done in a different way. You can catch that kind of animated movie also. So that's a really good read. Next we have the Avengers versus Marvel Universe. There's also the Punisher and Wolverine, where it begins, versus the Marvel Universe. But this is like, the third tie-in that ends it. This is basically, in this story, all the heroes are diseased and getting all, not exactly zombie-like, they're more, they're more human-like, but like, they're diseased and, diseasing other people like these zombies would. And this is basically not just one Avenger, Hawkeye, taking on the whole universe and saving the day. This is Hawkeye saving the day for like the whole universe. And this is not tied in with the Marvel universe. This is just a really good story. You should check. A really good favorite of mine. It's called, this is Hitman, DC's Hitman, contract killer named Tommy Monaghan. He lives in Gotham City and takes contracts only on bad guys, mafia bosses and bad guys, but he does it with his partner, and they also team up with sometimes with Batman, and even though Batman tries to take him in after they're done, but he's like, gets away, and then he also teams up with the Green Lantern, and there's like 96 issues. It was a really good read about him and his partner taking contract on different hits on Gotham City. You should check that out. Now, these are some other covers that came out, issues. Now, I also wanted to talk about, I always tell you how Deadpool, he does variant covers. He's not in these stories, and this is one of my favorites. He just put them on covers, and they charge a few more extra dollars to make a cool cover. This is one of my favorites. This is all 50 state birds on Deadpool pooping on him. And, they're all on him, it's like, oh, come on, guys. And it's all 50 state birds all on him. All pooping on him, and it's awesome. And there's another one I want to show you. He's not in this one. It's X-Men Battle Atomic, and it says swag on the underneath of it. and Deadpool is just swinging around a knife, smiling, having a good time. Also, if you like want to start collecting, this would be a good way to go, is collect variants. Variants are the covers I've been telling you about. And they're a little bit extra. Some of them are with regular price. Most of them are a little bit extra, depending on how good the cover is and how much time they spend on that. So, alright, I want to show you that. Now I show you that, we're going to take off the Newcastle Comics. We're the only place where I get my comic books at. And I'll see you guys there. We're going to do a thing with Paul called My 2 Cents, where I talk about other YouTube shows that do with comic books. And I'll have my 2 cents. So I'll see you there. Alright, yeah, we're back. I'm here again with Paul, and we have regular Matt, and we're going to talk about more. You guys are hearing me talk about Galactus eating the Ultimate Universe, and I want to clear some more things up, because you all who are watching movies probably don't realize that you're watching the Ultimate Universe version of Marvel, mixed in with some of the Marvel Universe that we know of. So I want to start clearing things up. That's not Peter Parker, that's Miles Morales, who's a teenager. Spider-Man dies. In this universe, everybody, like Matt said,
one of my favorite things about the series, about the Ultimate Universe, is that dead means dead. If somebody dies, they're not going to bring them back like you always see in the normal Marvel Universe. So it's interesting because it allows them to play with more characters and to be able to develop more and to change things about characters that they kind of want to change, but it's too classic or, what's the word? Canon to change. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that I had like about the Marvel Universe. Also, I mean, I haven't read that much about Marvel Universe, but they have their ups and downs, just like the regular Marvel Universe. But yeah, everybody pretty much dead except for Miles, and that's their version of Cloak and Dagger, who's like the yin yang superheroes. And they're finally going to put an end of the universe, the Ultimate Universe. Galactus is finally, and Miles is supposed to survive and jump over to this universe. So there's going to be some more Spider-Man in the universe of Marvel and be more stupid. You know what, Paul? Let's get to what you like to talk about the Ultimate Universe, and then we get back to me.
Speaking of everyone being dead once they're dead, Ultimate X-Men Origins, which is Wolverine's son joining a team, a new superhero who's got powers like the Falcon, and the original Hulk, who is a mutant, and they're being led by Jean Grey. And this is her assembling the team. And the first one she puts together is James Howlett Jr.
Is that Sabretooth?
That is Sabretooth. He's a bad guy in it.
Okay.
Sabretooth and the Hulk have a beatdown. Beautiful art by Arthur Adams. He doesn't regularly do comics because he's quite expensive, and the way he illustrates the characters in this really brings the story to life, and it's a nice way that you can, in a way, keep characters people love like Wolverine, but not have to revert back to Logan Wolverine. You can have a different version.
And he's not like Dark Wolverine either. He's a totally different character, right?
Nope, he's just a 16-year-old kid.
Alright.
If you can see on this page, his healing factor isn't quite as good as his old man's, and he occasionally requires some catching up. Especially after Sabretooth gets through with him, taking out the frustration that he can't fight Wolverine on his son.
Alright.
Enjoy Matt together?
Alright, yeah. Matt, you got anything you want to throw in?
No, I mean, both what I know you're about to show in a little while and what Paulie has shown here are fantastic issues and fantastic groups of, just storylines as a whole. But, like I said, I just love what they do with the series. I love how they're able to take, all these characters and, almost the entire X-Men team and almost the entirety of the Avengers are all dead, and then exploring what you can do with characters that have similar powers and the storylines you're able to take and to be able to bring in new people and to tweak stuff, and it's just a fantastic idea, and it's a fantastic concept. And I've, haven't gotten a chance to read much, but I always follow what they're doing and where they're going with the series and the entire universe, and it is fantastic.
Another difference between the Marvel universe and the Ultimate Universe is the Avengers aren't heroes in the Ultimate Universe. That's the code name for Nick Fury's Black Ops murder squad. That is consisted of Nick Fury himself, the Punisher wearing a Captain America type outfit that gives him boosted strength and immunity. War Machine, one of the guys that was the Hulk, who is a crime lord now, and Black Widow. And
is that Domino also?
No, that's Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
And in this story arc, they're going after Ghost Rider, who is killing a bunch of rich, powerful men, and you find out it's because these men achieved their CEO status and power by sacrificing a young couple in the 70s, and that young couple is Johnny Blaze and whatever his girlfriend's name is at the time. And Ghost Rider comes back, and there's a really cool moment in this where the Punisher and Ghost Rider are facing off, and the Ghost Rider grabs Frank Castle really close and whispers something in his ear. And at the end, when Frank escapes Nick Fury's grasp and gets back to dealing out some punishment, he's walking through a house in Russia killing off some mafiosos, and Nick asked me what the Ghost Rider said. It took me a while to piece it together, since he's in Mephisto's employ. Told me to keep up the good work. Frank Castle, if Mephisto feeds on the souls of evil men, then Frank Castle is a walking buffet.
One of the even interesting things with Black Widow, the character that Paulie mentioned earlier, is it's not the original Black Widow that most people are associated with. It's not Natasha Romanoff, because a lot of people know that she's got some ex-Russian background, but in the Ultimate Universe, they kept that going to the fact where she was essentially a KGB agent that was still working for the downfall of America, and it was a very interesting climax in one of the series at the time.
Ultimates versus Avengers?
No, that's not even Ultimates Avengers. That's Ultimates Volume 2. That was when Loki gathers a group of heroes and kind of an evil Captain America and everything, and plots to take down the entirety of the U.S. and it just completely destroys the Ultimates, who was originally the Avengers lineup, and just destroys them to their very core. And it's a fantastic series.
And one of the little things I saw, like Jason was showing you the death of Spider-Man, it's the Punisher that kills Spider-Man, essentially.
Does he really?
The Punisher, it's the Avengers and the Ultimates facing off. The Avengers have been framed, and Frank is placed up high on a sniper's nest ready to take out Captain America, take out his kneecaps, if he becomes too much of a threat. And as he fires it around at Captain America's knee, Spider-Man swing past, and the bullet goes in one side, out the other, and that's what allows the villains to get one over on him and kill him finally.
Because Spider-Man actually at the time, if I recall, Green Goblin was getting ready to kill Aunt May.
Yeah.
And even though he was bleeding out, he continued to try to fight and hold them all off until somebody else came, and it ended up being the death of him. And it was that and The Funeral is probably one of the most heart-wrenching comics I've read. Just people coming up, finding out who Peter Parker was, and these people coming up to Aunt May and just expressing, how sorry they were and the amazing things that he did with his life and just how good of a person he truly was, and just seeing her not even be able to talk at the funeral. It was fantastic in a very horrible way.
Alright. Well, that's interesting. I also wanted to, we all know how obsessed with Deadpool, and in Ultimate Universe he's way different. He's not as lovable or funny. He's still funny, but his costume looks way different. And he looks like Magneto kind of, instead of looking like Spider-Man. Let's see. Yeah, there's Deadpool right here. And he's more machine and then he is human in this, and he's got his own talk show, and this also involves Blade, And I also Morpheus is in this one also, and then Blade is chasing after Morpheus. And it's a really violent Ultimate Spider-Man story. If you would check Ultimate Universe, you should check this out one too. Like I've been saying, if you watched Amazing Spider-Man the movie, that's based more on Ultimate Spider-Man. Because when he was a teenager, he was an Ultimate Spider-Man. He would ride a skateboard, and there's just bits and pieces. And there's also, if you swing around and look, if you want to, also Iron Patriot in Iron Man 3, you see the Iron Patriot, and in Ultimate Universe they use the Iron Patriot, but in our universe there's American Son, who is Norman Osborn. You had a good look on that?
Yeah.
Norman Osborn is the original Green Goblin. After the
That's Harry Osborn.
Yeah, that's Harry Osborn.
is that Harry Osborn?
Yep.
Okay,
American-
I've been corrected. This is Norman Osborn's son, who he tries to be a superhero, but he's psycho still. And this is the suit, the same suit you see in Iron Man 3. This is American Son, and this is Harry Osborn trying to be a superhero, but he fails. So, alright. That's all we got right now. Once again, that's Paul and that's Matt, and I'm Pert on Ultimate Universe. If you want to check more, come to the Newcastle Comics, and I'll be back with you back in the basement. See you then. Okay, we're back in the basement. Alright, so I got my weekly from Newcastle, so we're checking that out right now. Hope you guys like that segment I did with Ultimate Universe. You can, there's a bunch of other stories that you can check out, and they're all really good from what I hear. So, first on the list, today's weekly, first on the list, we got Deadpool, Good, Bad, and Ugly, 5 out of 5. This is the conclusion, and Deadpool does his thing, and you know what Deadpool's going to do. I'm not going to ruin anything, but he gets his revenge, and they escape, and then at the end, Wade Wilson gets his smile back, folks. Okay, it's a really good read. I liked it, and at the end, it's something to do with Patterson, the Agent Shield spirit who's in his head, who's, taking over for the voices he hears in his head. So, go get that one, is a good one. Next, we got Superior Spider-Man, and Dr. Octavius' girlfriend, who was supposed to be, like, in a coma, and she was, he made her some kind of virtual reality thing, and her avatar, that girl right there is this lady's avatar, for say, and thinking Spider-Man killed, basically blaming him for killing Dr. Octavius, who is, Spider-Man. It's a good read. And this is Year Zero Batman. This is when Batman and the Joker first started. This is a lot to do with Commissioner Gordon looking in to, because he believes, Bruce Wayne, who's real rich and had a tragic, childhood. He believes he's Batman, and then, this is him investigating that. Next, we got Justice League America. This is a really good read too. This is, basically, talks about John the Martian Manhunter. This guy here, he's going on a mission, and he's trying to, figure out what to do after all this craziness going on. And he gets in some trouble. And there's a good one. Now, yeah, this came up this week. This is what I was talking about earlier. That Smiles, he's the new Spider-Man since this Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe is like a lot of other people who died, like Wolverine and Magneto and Deadpool. It was a big war, and
a lot of people died, but that's what that guy was talking about. They stay dead, Matt. So yeah, it's about him teaming up with Cloak and Dagger, and them figure out a way out of this mess. And then there's Forever Evil. Gilmore is basically, Vane trying to take over Gotham City, and everyone's fighting against him, and he's running amok. It's pretty good. And then we got the next episode, next issue of Mars Attacks Judge Dredd. It's still a lot of fun, and you should go check it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least is my new favorite comic book. Rock Girl! Ah! Rock Girl! Rocket booster through face of time! Ah! 'Cause she's Rock Girl! She's fighting crime through time, one day at a time! Yeah! I like this book so much I had to make my own song for it. So, that's her new intro when you guys want to make the movie. Is Rocket Girl. Coming from the 2013, from like 1980s would think of 2013. And she's trying to save her future. And I like the artwork here. It's written by Brandon Montclair and Amy Reddier. She does the artwork. I like the artwork because it has a Japan animation kind of feeling to it, with Japan animation meets comic books kind of feel to it, and the story itself has like a Japan animation feeling to it. It's a really good comic. It's about Rocket Girl trying to save her future, and if this big origin about her future. She, each issue she fights much harder crime, and I think learning an issue she's going to, fight other crimes in the 80s to help her future. And this one explains what she's doing there and what this is all about. It's really good, and definitely go check that out. It's my new favorite comic because it's original. Alright, so that's all we got for this week. Because it's next week, next Wednesday, it's going to be a real big one, but you got to stay tuned to find out what's going on. Until then, this is Kuhl's Comic Book Basement. I'm your host, Jason Kuhl, and that's what's up.